Welcome. I'm having an FJ chat with Mimi Gilmour, Creative Director of Burger, Fish, The Empire Strikes Back, everything that you're involved in. Mimi's got a terrific background in hospitality. She's part of hospitality royalty in Auckland. And I'm particularly interested in how Mimi's used social media through her various brands and what that means to the brands and how that works. So, firstly, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about some of the background. We're in Burger at the moment,
Yes.
the Newmarket one, which is relatively new. How old?
April last year. So.
And opened with a bang.
A bang. It did. Yeah. And it's been busy, ever since. It's kind of all of the whole Burger journey really has been a bit dreamy for hospitality. I mean, I kind of have to pinch myself sometimes, I think.
Aren't you supposed to have a few failures and mistakes? And
I've done my fair share of failures, don't you worry. And saying that, Fish has been a bit of a challenge for us, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely underestimated some of the sort of supply issues that we're having in that area. So you never stop learning, but Burger has, it's been pretty good.
In a way, the things that have seen, burger culture and all those sort of things, but also your effort in terms of the quality and the buns and creating different things.
Yeah.
There's almost a trail that's come after that now of things that are there. So how do you sort of keep pushing ahead of things?
My mother was saying this to me last night. She was saying, how are you going to make sure? I think that we're lucky because I guess we were the first, and we do deliver quality, and, a big thing for us is to be able to deliver that consistently.
Yeah.
And I think if we can consistently deliver the experience side of things, then, and we keep investing in the emotional side of it, which is for us is, making sure that we have good people, that our service continues to improve, that we have stories that we can interact with our customers, that we stay, fresh and new, we keep challenging them, I guess for me it's about not.
How do you as the owner and creative director of pushing that, how do you tap into that to make sure that that's the ride that everyone's experiencing? What's the feedback loop for you?
We have we get a lot of feedback. I mean, I do, for instance, once every year I do a huge customer feedback, so we have 150 customers, and that's a very strategic kind of feedback across everything. We encourage feedback on our social media channels. I talk to people all of the time, and we have a really, really close team. Like our head office team is like a family, and we all work down in the restaurants as well, so walk
the floor, understand what it's happening.
Yeah. I mean, I live and breathe this. It's my passion. I love it. It's not like I don't feel like it's work. So I'm so involved in it every day that it.
And you've created different experiences. Like the Ponsonby experience in Burger is quite different to the Newmarket one, and that's deliberate.
I mean, Newmarket Ponsonby was the first. It was like, let's see if it works. Ponsonby's where I live. I'm very familiar with the culture around there, and before I opened it, I kind of had gone through all these big changes in my life, and I went to New York and London, and sort of ate myself silly for a few weeks, and had this really incredible dining experience at Momofuku Co, which is David Chang's restaurant in New York, which is a 12-seater restaurant. And
just getting in there is
Well, my sister and I booked like 3 months on the day, ahead of schedule, and we actually did the 20-course lunch. And I'd been in London and New York for that stage, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, I think I'm going to die. But it was just one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and that restaurant is very much designed around that experience. That experience in a restaurant that I found, a tiny little family restaurant that I found in Venice when I was in my teenage years, that we went into, and it was very it was very rooted around like the family culture. So there was like family photos on the walls, and it was a little bit kitsch, but there was like two old mamas like yabbering away cooking, and I had the best carbonara. Like carbonara is kind of this dish that's very central to my family's life.
But it's almost like you were in their living room.
So it was kind of like a combination of the two. And I wanted it to be small, and I wanted it to be intimate, and I really, and then this one, for instance, and very much so probably Takapuna as well, it's very, caters to everybody. So there's kind of small pockets where you can be like cool kids, but also very family friendly, large groups, you know.
In particular, I was interested in the way that you've, I think, led a number of things in social media, and we'll talk about various ones of that, but in particular Instagram. And I wondered whether some of that, like I think your photos that you're using, and now video and Instagram, thank you Instagram for bringing that up, comes from somehow, you know, your photography background, or, you know, your artistic
I
background.
guess, I mean, I'm very, like, my greatest strength probably is creativity in a way, and my photography background definitely. I think it's something that we invest in. So I think, especially because we have such a wonderful subject matter, which is food, which is really lovely because it's very emotionally appealing to people. So for us, it's about kind of mixing that up, and then I think something that we've done, which I really love, and I think has been, you know, it's fun, is integrating our people into it.
Well, that's a really interesting point, because I've seen other places do great food shots.
Yeah.
And you initially did a lot of that, but there's now more people in the shot. And that was quite deliberate.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think, for me, hospitality, like, our food is fantastic, great, we can make our restaurants look wonderful, but it doesn't make sense without the people. And that's really at the centre of what's, I want Burger to be for people, you know. I want that, it's about that human interaction, and for me, none of this makes sense without, you know, all of these, you know, faces and these personalities that we have in each restaurant. And so, I don't know, like, I used to be quite, I have learnt to be a little bit more relaxed about things. I think at the beginning I was very, like, planned and everything had to be, and now it's kind of like, you know what, this is fun, it's every day, people want to be able to relate to it, so it's probably relaxed a bit more.
And I think in terms of social media, after a while, if people have been on social media for a while, they can't help it, their voice comes out. Like, they might pretend to be something, but after a while, their voice comes out. Do you have an appreciation of maybe what the voice is for Burger?
Yeah, I mean, look, I have Holly, who works with me, and she is, you know, 23, and she hates when I call her my mini-me, but she kind of is. But she's incredible, you know, and I think and I have this really sort of inner child that just always
wants to play with things,
and so it's a combination, I think, of me kind of challenging and you know, coming up with some sort of creative, fun ideas, and then her kind of youthful and the fact that she's in touch with that sort of, you know, I feel old now because I'm 32. I'm like, the 10-year gap is actually,
you've got a way to work code,
but it is quite big. So, you know, we kind of have this, I think we have a very fun, humble, young, but approachable kind of voice.
Yeah, actually, I think that's true.
And not young, like teenager, just kind of
youthful.
Yeah. In that we don't overthink
Youthful and
it.
Playful. I think that playful is the thing that
yeah.
comes through for me, and I think that's about the dining experience as well.
Yeah.
There's a certain playfulness, like the maitre d's and the floor wait staff, etc. are kind of playful without overdoing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you just don't want to take things too seriously. You know? Like, it's kind of like there's enough
bankers. And, you know, maybe, you know.
There's enough stuff going on in life. You know, I think that for us, our overriding company mission is to make people's lives just a little bit better every day. And I think that a bit of humour and comfort is.
So in terms of the channels, what's been working, what are the fails, what sort of things? I mean, you're obviously very strong on Instagram, and I think you use it very well.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so different now, you know, like you have to tailor your content, and then you have to know how to get it in front of your audience, you know. I mean, even Instagram in the last month has just slowed down so much because of the new, you know, algorithms and structure that Facebook has put in. So we use Snapchat, it's growing, it's credible for that, you know. Our other big mission is to become the most inspiring place to work for under 25. So for us, that's a really important kind of.
Okay, so you're talking to that audience as a
definitely talking
employees.
to that audience. Yeah. potential employees, and also, I mean, the younger generation, you know, like the under 25s. I can't quite handle Snapchat. I'm like, I've got enough going on in my life. But it is the fastest growing social media channel.
Yes.
We can't ignore it. Instagram definitely probably is our most successful. And Facebook we use a lot, but we use it more intentionally for like campaign, you know, like if we are driving a specific message or promoting something specific, or
So what about the social media fails, the lessons maybe you've learned about, you know, how to talk to your audience, or what they just will bite back on?
Our food shots are definitely still our most successful. I think we haven't really had any failures, to be honest. I mean, I think there's sometimes when I think we've pushed it, like we've been a little, like we kind of, you know, got to put a little swear word in there or something, and I'm like, oh, is it too far? But you know, it gets, sometimes I just think when you say things that everyone else is thinking, then we get a great response. So I don't think we've ever really had any particular fails. You know, every now and then we'll get someone like, because you know our specials every week we come up with ridiculous names for them.
Yes.
So like I think a few weeks ago we had this really delicious Indian burger, and I think we called it the Taj. I don't know what we every week it's a struggle for us to come up with these names. And I think someone, you know, sent us a message and said, I think, you know, that's kind of racist in a way. And I was like, okay, you know, like every now and then we'll get some feedback like that.
Do you monitor that? Because, you know, you'd be aware in some of the things where a certain restaurant had an issue in the messages on their toilet wall, and it just blew up on social media in hours, and they weren't watching, and that got away on them. So you've got a chance to sort of move, but you've got to be onto these things quickly and monitoring them just to see if something is.
Well, you can generally you can ascertain the intention of the person making the comment by the language that they use. So I think over time, I will definitely, we watch everything, we acknowledge everything. I mean, put it this way, people who rant on social media, give and take. I read it and I figure out whether it's worth entertaining or not, and then we deal with it either privately or we just let them have their say, because at the end of the day, that's what social media is for. And if people message us directly, we always deal with it. Yeah. But I guess, you know, we are not racist, we're not sexist, we are all inclusive. And if I felt that we had done anything out of place, then absolutely I'd acknowledge it and I'd apologise for it. But I think that I should hope that we would never find ourselves in that situation.
That's sort of the point. And we'll run some things underneath here for you in terms of linking through, because I really do think people should have a look at some of the Instagram things. That they are fantastic, and that sort of puts, you know, the whole food porn thing into a whole new category. I mean, it's drooling.
Well, like we put our donuts up, so we did donuts.
I saw the donuts
on Facebook last night, and they went freaking ballistic. You know, when it's crazy when you watch stuff that's now, like, that went organic, like, just organically went nuts, because, I mean, who doesn't love a donut with caramel sauce and ice around it, you know? But, like, yeah, it's
And sometimes these things surprise you, you're not sure what's going to work, and suddenly something does.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, our specials do change every week. That Indian burger, for instance, was really, really delicious. Will we sell as many Indian burgers as we will fried chicken and, you know, bacon burgers? No. But we will continue doing that, because I think it's fun and it's exciting for us to also challenge, you know. And I think New Zealand, like, our kitchens are multicultural. We have a lot of you know, Indians. We have Filipinos, Mexicans, you know, and
they're all bringing something.
They all bring something. So every month, our chefs, all the senior chefs are allowed to come forward with ideas, and they sit down and they talk about them, and then Adrian works them into a burger. And, you know, me being a foodie and being brought up around, you know, with all the food in the world, I think it's good for us to be able to challenge people.
So, what next?
I'm trying to figure that out myself, actually. Look, for us to continue growing, we have to be able to continue delivering what we promise and what we have been. And for us, that's about building a business that people want to be part of and that people believe in what we're doing. I mean, we're not saving the planet or changing the world, but I do really believe in protecting that in the respect of that day-to-day interaction and service. And so for us, I guess it's about, we need to do a little bit of background stuff for a little while. We're looking...
Well, that's about sustainability, not only in an environmental sense, but for you.
Yeah.
Because it can't be about you driving things.
No.
You have to come into the side of this and have a sustainable...
But also, you know, in New Zealand, like, we've just left the service industry. It's really hard because people don't not respect it. They don't respect it because they don't feel like they're going to be respected in it.
Yeah.
And also, I don't, you know, what we're trying to change is it not being just this transitional kind of like, you know, I don't mind if it's part of a transition for kids at all, but I'm like, if you're going to be here and do a really great job and engage in it, because you'll actually take some wicked life skills away and you'll meet some really interesting people. You know, I'm not into that kind of half in, half out thing. So we're just trying to figure out how we can do that. And we've got too many ideas.
Well, I was going to say, you must have too many ideas because you're a creative person, but also too many opportunities, and that people love success, so they'll be saying, come here, come do this here.
Yeah. And I guess I just learned that in the past. Yeah, it is. It is dangerous, yeah. I mean, even fish for us has been challenging, you know, like, and I think what it's made us realise is, as much as that was a great idea, and we actually just, Burger is such a wonderful vehicle for us to do so many wonderful things, and so if we, you know, I think we just need to sort of probably refocus on that and use that. You know, we're talking. I get emails every week from every developer, the Sun. We've been talking to someone about Christchurch, Queenstown. I mean, like, we could literally go. You know, we can.
Christchurch, I think, is really interesting. We've got a branch there, and man, the food scene is taking off.
Yeah, and you know, it's a cool city and it's cool people, and I really want to be part of it. You know, I guess it's just for us, when we privately own this now, and kind of, you know, when we open restaurants, it's not cheap exercise, and also because we want to invest a lot more in our internal structures. So we've built like online training programs. We've built we've got a purpose-driven kind of, I don't want to call it intranet because I don't know if that's a thing, but we've basically got a site that our team can go to, and it has all of our training resource, and we look at you know, updating that. We've built the beginning of our waitlist program, which is when you walk up and you get your text. So we want to take that to the next level, because that's going to, you know, deal with one of our bigger kind of operational issues. So there's all that sort of stuff as well that takes time, and you know, and at the moment it's kind of like, where do you put your
hard being an innovator, because people say, we'll do something innovative again. Well, I'm trying to build a business here.
Yeah.
You know, going through.
I think I've learned to also just got
Breathe.
better at just, you know, like, there's lots of great ideas out there, but are they going to help you get to where you're trying to go? You know, I've had to get better at putting ideas to one side. So I got invited to be on the board of a group called Company of Women, which is a organisation which aims to kind of support women to, it's about for profit for good. They believe that if there were more women in business, you know, generating profit, that they'd be then contributing, you know, more back for good. Amongst also that they just champion women succeeding in business. So I got into that through one of my sort of mentors, Sarah Peichel, 2 or 3 years ago, and then I think they invited me to be the young kid on the block and on the board to do the creative stuff. And that's awesome, because, you know, I mean, that's got Teresa Gatting and Dr. Lena. I mean, these women are just like next level. I don't even know how I sit on these board meetings, and I'm like, how did I end up here? But
and you've got this amazing brand ambassadorship for
Jaguar, which has been awesome as well, because, you know, it's allowed me to meet some really, really interesting people. And it's also a really wonderful brand, because, you know, I mean, once you start paying attention to things like that, and I understand the effort and I guess passion that has to go into keeping a brand like that alive, I kind of love its classic, English heritage and the way that it's developed and the way that it's really had to kind of go, okay, how do we redefine, ourselves in this market? So
Is it pressured for you in a sense of saying, like the invitation to the women in business, is that saying, oh good, you're the new young thing, so you come up with this sort of thing. Is that sort of a different pressure that coming in, that people expect things of you?
I said to my husband the other day, I was like, I feel a little bit like, that thing, imposter syndrome, It's a little bit, sometimes I'm just like, I just don't know why people think that I know anything, because I'm just Mimi. I haven't changed, and like, I guess I've got a lot better at what I do. I think I've got a lot of energy. I'm never afraid to contribute. I love meeting new people, I love learning, and sometimes I get a little bit scared that this bubble is going to burst because people's expectations. But I think that I've just always been who I am. Like, I spoke at Semi-Permanent a few weeks ago, and I was brutally, open and honest about my life, about everything, like personally and in work, because, and I think because I am like that, and I have always been like that, I don't think that anyone's got any disillusions about who I am, and so I don't think that'll, change.
But I think that's part of you and how that's reflected in the personality of the brands that you work with as well, and it's a credit to you. I think it's actually, not enough people put themselves out there, frankly, and you have.
Yeah, so, I don't know whether that's just pure ignorance. But it's, I was at Semi-Permanent basically said I didn't love school. I didn't fit in very well. I also went to Elam. I've kind of bounced around. I've made some huge mistakes. I've learnt what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not. And most importantly, I guess I've learnt that I can't be great at everything, and to surround yourself with wonderful people that can support your
vision of what you want to do. Hey, if you learnt that, then you've done the lesson.
I was like, pre-30, I was ticking boxes. I was like divorced, like almost bankrupt. I was like walking away from my first successful business, everything. Pre-30, I was like,
clear the slate.
Yeah, I really did like life in the, and as I said to them, I think, failure makes you reevaluate what it is that you want to achieve, and where you want to put your energy, and I guess if I can in any tiny way help some up and coming young like entrepreneurs or anything like that skip some of the hard lessons that I learned.
I always think though that sometimes it's not bad to have a punch in the nose occasionally, because it does actually make you realise what life is about. Yeah,
I think there's some things that are better than others. So like I'm kind of like, man, so many people, and especially creators, start businesses and just don't understand enough about the financials, and that is scary, and that can be life changing. I was really, really lucky that I had a huge, failure, but something, a huge success that would almost cancel out each other, I mean, this could have controlled the rest of the next 10 years of my life, just because I put my head in the sand, and
didn't face it at the time.
Yeah, and also because I thought that I should understand it, and I didn't understand it, so then I ran away from it, and I was just like, you know what, just go get someone who does understand it and get them to deal with it, that's cool. You're a creative, you don't need to be a financial guru, or like the other biggest lesson that I tell everybody is looking after, protecting your relationships and your health, because, I have done a lot and I have achieved a lot, but that was, for 2 years, that was the cost of...
Yeah, it's a big load on.
Yeah, a lot of people and relationships and my health, I was working like 100-hour weeks, and which at the time I loved, but I just cut all these other things out and basically came down in the crashing heap at the end of it, which was, so I mean, I don't know, if you want to be the best you'll never necessarily have work-life balance. I don't actually know what that means.
No, look,
You know?
yeah, I think there's a lot of crock about
Yeah.
work-life balance, because I think it's a bit like the old clown's balloon. There's times when you squeeze it here and it bubbles up here, and there's
Yeah.
other times it's just never always in balance.
Yeah. But I
Because
think you
there's
need to
times-
figure out what that balance is for you, you know? Yeah. And
There's
I
times
think,
of huge input for you.
Yeah.
There must be just when you got new ventures, new ideas, and you throw probably everything at it.
yeah. Well, I still manage like all the building sites. So when we build restaurants, and I'm on, building sites every day, all day for, weeks on end. But I love it at the time. But I definitely have got to find a better way to do that, because I'm actually having a baby in March.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
Which is like,
Oh, these are forced.
Yeah,
These
I
are
know.
going to be-
I'm like, I was like, I haven't like not worked for 10 years. Like I haven't not been here. And so at the moment for me, I'm like, how do I make myself not needed in this business every day, for a little while, or like how?
That is a really, really interesting point, because now you're at a point where you've got to say, this has got to be sustainable without me in it.
Yeah.
Because then I come in and I'm the impact player when I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm going to disappear. I don't think I've physically got it in me to do that. But it's quite refreshing way to look at it as well, It's, and I guess because we're doing things in a different way to a lot of other, what would be traditionally how to grow hospitality businesses in this country, I guess. It's been quite interesting for us to figure out like who those people are and what they should be doing and what do we invest in next and how are we going to,
Well, I mean, you were looking for expert advice, and now people are looking to you for expert advice, because you've created this model. How can we follow your model?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it really just comes down to people. Yeah, it's all about people. So.
Superb. Hey, look, it's been wonderful. Thanks.
my
You've been so
pleasure.
generous with your time, and congratulations. I
Thank
just think
you.
it's amazing, and
Thank
congratulations on the new